Welcome, Mr. Balaji, to the show. I like the designation, customer success officer. Do you want to talk about why did you come up with a designation which is talks about, the way it is addressed?
Customer success, Sunil, is mainly to talk about going beyond the contract. I mean, most of the times in the services industry, we drop contracts to deliver certain outcomes. Now, it is not merely enough to deliver those outcomes. It is to go beyond and try to derive benefits which are larger in nature beyond the contract. So for that, we need to understand what is success for the customer, what is their growth path, what is their roadmap for growth, and then align ourselves, even though the contract could be a start point for that roadmap of success. So customer success is all about defining and deriving success for both the individuals as customers and the organization, rather than just merely executing to the contract.
AI has become critical in the healthcare industry. How do you see that fit into the Indian healthcare industry?
AI, everybody thinks AI is a replacement for human beings. Artificial intelligence is actually an augmentation for human beings. Artificial intelligence provides you more than what you can handle, provides you ability to learn on the fly and learn from patterns and trends. Healthcare definitely is a good constituent for AI because we need predictions, we need proactive approach. How can we tell the patient that there is a waiting doctor rather than the patient waiting for a doctor? How can we tell what is available as wards or beds rather than they figuring out that they are in a wait list? How can we talk about surgeries which can be taken up depending on the availability of the theater or the specialist or the surgeon?
Or maybe availability of critical organs.
That's true.
And when?
Providing a continuous data and insights and patterns into how procedures are performed, how intelligent the dimensions of data are being used to perform procedure, and more importantly, moving everything, as we call it, shift left, right? Instead of trying to be reactive, can I enable the hospital and the operations to be proactive? We are actually working in one of the large healthcare software providers who actually figures out how to avoid patients coming to emergency rooms or ERs as they call it, by providing proactive wellness initiatives depending on their diagnosis, depending on their medicinal behavior and the patterns of their visits to the hospital. So AI can actually augment the doctors and the nurses and the practitioners in a very, very large way. AI is no means a replacement for a human being. It's more an augmentative tool to be more better equipped and efficient when coming to performing operations.
So it is in the benefit of the doctors and the patients both?
Big time. Actually, it enhances patient care, disease management, operations management, cost management, because ultimately the cost of the running the hospital is passed on to the patient. Nothing is free for us. So in this way, we can actually reduce the cost of the operations, identify bottlenecks and eliminate them, which automatically enhances the patient care and the user experience of the patient.
There could be also a fear that with more, when you introduce newer technology, the cost also goes up. Is that possible?
Yeah, so with the advent of virtualization, with the advent of automation, actually the cost comes down because what you can do, which takes 10 minutes, can now be done in 2 minutes. So that 8 minutes, that capacity or the asset is available for some other use. So the cost is actually distributed rather than just being burdened on a particular activity or a task. So while the technology is introduced and technology is going down by the cost by the day, so the optimization, the virtualization, the automation actually reduces the cost in a very big way. And we've seen that earlier the conversation was more about labor arbitrage. Now the conversation is about efficiency and time to market. And that enhances the availability and the service quality. In parallel, it actually reduces the cost of providing the service, and the inefficiencies which are there are removed totally.
Could you talk about Ziffy?
Zero Incident Framework is a AI-based operational solution, as we call it, AI operations, AI ops. It is built primarily to ingest data, volumes of data from multiple sources within an enterprise or organization, right from a business process level onto the lowest infrastructure or asset available, capture patterns and insights and inferences, and from there derive some intelligent insights and trends, and provide the user or the consumer of that inference to be proactive and take decisions so that he can, one, reduce cost of operation, two, prevent outages or downtimes, thereby increase availability, and three, most importantly, free up some both human capital and financial capital for further transformation initiatives, which can further enhance the patient care and end user experience.
One of the things, as a user of healthcare, I've seen it through personal experience is, as a patient, your information, your health record is not available with the other hospital, or what is called as the data interoperability. Is that even doable?
It is. Today, the problem is because a lot of these systems which are used by the various hospitals, the backbone of the MIS and the operation systems which are used, are very traditional and legacy oriented. So they have their own formats, they have their own way of storing data and capturing data and representing data. If there is an enablement, either from a regulatory body or the government, to allow data interoperability, then I think there would be organizations like GAVs which will actually come forward to figure out the data interoperability. The primary concern is security of personal information or confidentiality of personal information, which is primarily because it can be misused or abused. Second one is the inability of the systems to interface with each other. And third one, of course, hospitals claiming that information about the patient is valuable and hence not showing it as a separate asset to other hospitals. I think if regulatory bodies can take this up, and I know some of the leading hospitals are working in this direction in terms of bringing in interoperability, especially with this remote world which we are now getting into, the interoperability has become more and more critical. Telemedicine's one of the biggest challenges is become interoperability. And so interoperability is being addressed at the highest levels. And that definitely will bring a lot of transformation in the way data can be passed between entities and enterprises and provide better patient care, of course.
So as a startup and a company also which has a long history of innovations, working with or associating with educational institutions, how does it benefit both? And can you also share your particular company relationship with IIT Madras?
I think it works both ways. The academy is trying to become more industry centric so that they are able to actually capture majority of the newer trends in the industry and help the students become industry ready. Secondly, a lot of the large organizations as part of their CSR are also trying to participate with large academic institutions to help the society. But for us, it actually benefits both ways. IIT Madras is helping us to enrich our algorithms. Some of the world-class algorithms are come from IIT Madras. Secondly, we are tied up with academic institutions, not just with IIT Madras, other institutions, because we are able to actually participate in the second year, third year semesters and help people get industry ready and understand and identify the talent much before they actually come out into the market. So we have actually gone to 4 or 5 of the nearby top colleges, management institutes, as well as engineering colleges, and identified projects, subjects, and even provide course material and coach the students right in second year and third year itself so that they can be GAVs ready by the time the fourth year comes. And we can tap into the top talent before others can tap into. So it's working out both ways.
So this year, as you've been taking part in the event, NASDAQ, this year, 2020, especially post-COVID, what are your expectations with the event, being part of the event?
No, I think there is a definitive market. We were all a little apprehensive about how COVID is going to help us or not help us with regards to the future, with regards to the type of work we can do. But more and more, technology seems to be the call of the day. People are working remote, people are working distributed, people are wanting automation, people are wanting the human beings to do much better intelligent work than mundane work. Considering all of this, we are thankful that we are working both in the healthcare as well as the technology sector. And we are seeing good requests coming in from our healthcare hospitals as well as other industries as well. We are also participating in manufacturing and BFSI sectors. So we are seeing a good amount of requirement with regards to automation, digital transformation, and this new way of working remotely. So towards that, I would believe that this is a good platform where people can showcase their initiatives, their investments, their focus, and also try to seek requests from people who are watching this and can actually benefit from this. So I think this is a very good initiative, and NASSCOM has always been a front-ending body in trying to disrupt and be innovative and take the industry forward. Directional is the right thing to do, and we are very happy to be part of it.
So, as a startup which is 5 years old, taking part or being part of NASDAQ 2020, what does it mean for your startup?
No, it's a privilege. It's an honor to represent ourselves. We've been doing this for quite some time with regards to showcasing ourselves and how we are able to make a disruptive, positively disruptive organization. We have been tied up with IIT Madras in this particular initiative to bring in newer ways of doing the product. So as a startup and as a innovation company, we are proud that Chennai is able to showcase some of its talent, and GAVS can be a vehicle for that. We are really making strides where we are able to help hospitals innovate themselves with this transformation, this platform, Zero Incident Framework, which is an AI-based platform, and participate in some very large digital transformation initiatives. Thankfully, we have had the wherewithal technically and financially to do that so far, and we look forward to continue this initiative and the focus in this area.
And what are your thoughts about a channel, exclusive channel for startups and MSMEs like My Startup TV?
I think the best would be to summarize one of my customers who said that, right? New things bring new directions bring in new innovations, and new innovations need a lot of support. If all of these three can be brought in, we have new things being done because of the pandemic. We have new platforms being developed because innovation is the call of the day. And startups like us have to get support in whatever way we can. We have come thus far, but we need a lot more support. If patronage and support and investments from friends like yours, and as well as others who are watching this, can come in, then I think Chennai and India can do wonders with innovation, with technology, especially with this AI and ML and digital transformation.
Thank you, Mr. Balaji. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure talking to you. Thanks for the opportunity. Bye for now.